Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. Recording at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 216. My name is Bryan.
Rene.
I'm Sean.
And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My bad.
I know,
Look,
you
I took a
fumbled.
week off and
You
I
fumbled for a
I
second.
did. I'm going to give myself a C+.
Your name is Fumbles now.
That's my nickname.
It's always been Fumbles.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I love Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Follow our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com. Check out our YouTube if you guys want to watch our skits that are uploaded every Thursday. Check out the last one because it was directed by who?
This
Nick,
guy.
and it was edited by Sean. So
Hey.
please go watch that skit, show your love and support. Came out pretty good.
It was an
Came
interesting
out
idea.
really,
It was
really good.
choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry about some of the jumps.
No,
No,
you
it was
got
good.
it.
It came out
It was your
smooth.
first edit. You will learn how to do everything as time goes on.
I'm learning as I go
Exactly.
as
You
well.
did it
so.
better than I could have done it,
It was
which I
funny.
would never have done it.
It was really. It was
Who
so,
knows? You might actually kill it.
It was
Give
so-
it a try.
I need
It
money.
was so funny
It's Legos.
because me and Rene were driving home after we had
Yeah.
filmed the skit,
Yeah.
and every single time I would finish it, we would finish a scene. I would then show it to everybody and go like, "Okay, cool. Is
Yeah.
everybody cool? How does
Is everyone
everybody like
fine
it?
with this? This
how
is
does
good.
how does everybody like it?" And then everybody went like, "It's good. It's good." And I was like, "Oh, you think that it will work with that?" And then Sean went like, "I think it would work," and everything else. And then we were driving home, and it was like, "Yeah, man, like we were all working really good and everything else." And I go, "Yeah," and I was trying to get you guys involved because that way, if something went wrong.
Yeah.
It's all of our faults.
We all
It's
agreed
not-
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all agreed.
Yeah.
There was no like when
We
Nick
all
was
take
behind
the
the
fall?
Yeah.
Nick was behind the camera. I don't know what he did. I was
Yeah.
like, oh nope, I showed it to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody agreed. It's all three
So
of
in
our
case
faults.
Bryan
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, the lighting was off," well, I showed it to everyone. Everyone liked it. You
Everybody
know?
thought it was all right.
Yeah,
Everybody thought it was fine.
like-
No, it came out really well though. I honestly,
I love how you're anticipating because I love how like most
that we were
of the
gonna
time,
be critiqued.
yeah, that
Yes.
I was gonna be like I was gonna criticize, and I'm like, it's
That
your
was me
guys'
the whole
first-
night that night.
Yeah,
I was
but
like, "No, we gotta shoot it again because I don't want to hear Bryan being like, oh no, you guys
It's our
did."
PTSD.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's
It's PTSD.
in all seriousness though. Like I'm trying to like
Yeah.
better the communication and like I get it. I have to let go of projects and not be the one to fully be
Yeah.
carrying the whole weight of everything.
Yeah.
So with that understanding, it's like if you're editing it for the first time, I'm not going to be super harsh on you because what are you going to do? Like you're just learning the programs, and you
That's
have
true.
yeah, and you're going to learn how to do your cuts your way. Nick's directed and produced. He's now going to have to step up when I'm not there if he's going to be the one leading it. So yeah.
I think how long did we spend? I think we spent a solid 6 hours
Eddie?
like editing together.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because some of the stuff we did have to find that wasn't in the system or the drive.
Yeah.
There was a few things that I feel like that was the thing that took
Oh
us
my
the
gosh, and that
longest.
song.
Oh, so far away,
Far away.
Fair away or something like that.
Something like- yeah.
You had a song that was in the timeline, and it kept popping up as red, and then I'm like, what is far away? Like, what is this song? And then I finally found it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know this song. It's the beginning when like the like shh is happening, the VHS sound. And then he goes, okay, cool. I found it on YouTube. I downloaded it. I downloaded it 3 times, and it would not download to my computer for some reason.
Never showed up, even on mine.
Yeah, we
on my
downloaded it
laptop.
on his laptop. Did not want to show up. Then I downloaded it off a converter. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get the USB. I'm just gonna get the converter and put it on. Still didn't work. And then the Premiere said we couldn't use the file. And I'm like, are you being serious right now? And Sean's like, what are we gonna do? So that's why in the very beginning, I go, look for creepy music. Just look for weird music. And he goes, what? And I go, yeah. So we found like really eerie music. And I cut that one and I just dropped it down and I linked it up and it went doo 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 doo. And we were like, that works.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You just have to do it.
Yeah.
Just whatever works. I
Yeah,
mean,
I was like, that works. That sells. It's supposed to be a horror kind of skit, so it works.
No, it works, and you guys did great on it. I mean, I even showed you how to do a manual
For the
fade
audio for the fade.
music.
Yeah, that.
and I'm like, that works a lot
So apparently Nick told me we got you at one point when it was the
Yeah.
take of
better. With
when
the baby.
with the baby.
I
and
want
how-
I want you guys to. I want to know if you guys saw the skit. How do you think we did that take?
Yeah.
Where the baby shows up.
The
and
one
then-
shot we did. Yeah.
Yeah,
How does the
Chrissy
baby
was
disappear
wondering
and then
too.
show up? Because Chrissy didn't. Chrissy had to take a double take. You took a double
I
take.
took a double take, and then I was trying to figure it out. I was like, guess. Literally, this is how it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Nick was like, guess. And I'm like, okay. And I was about to guess, and Nick is like, oh, it was under. We went under. I'm like, dude, I didn't even guess. Like, relax. Let me.
was so
explain.
excited.
I know. I'm
I was
like,
so excited.
So proud of himself.
I know. It's like,
I know.
oh, it's good.
We
Be proud
figured it
of
out.
Yeah,
We figured
it's
it
good.
out.
We don't need CGI
Yeah.
or
I
AI.
just love it.
No, it's all good. And if you guys are on the go, check out our audio platform:
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean.
Mm.
I'm back.
No more Amazon
Yeah.
podcast, right? That's gone.
I don't think I can't link it.
Nah. Yeah, it's no longer a thing. I think.
No, Google Podcasts.
Is it Google Podcast?
Google
now?
Podcasts
Oh,
is
okay.
out. Yeah,
Okay.
Amazon has a weird thing. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, I'm back, but now I'm sick.
Brian played Warhammer with us the other day.
I
Yeah.
tried. I just rolled dice.
He
was
rolled
rolling,
dice.
He was rolling dice like he was playing craps in the back streets.
He rolled
was-
35 dice at once.
He did. How did that feel to roll
the
35
heck?
days?
Yeah.
it's
What
weird.
sided dice were they?
Six-sided
Five.
dice.
Six-sided? 35
I was
six-sided
about to
dice?
say I was like 5.
Because I was thinking for the 5 units.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
just, had, he just had a handful of dice, and he's like,
Yeah.
"How many of these do I need?" And then Sean's like, "Oh, you need 12 sixes," and he goes, "That's not gonna happen."
You did get 2 6s when you needed them, though.
that's
Yeah,
true. You
you
did.
did.
There's a point where Sean is like, he gives me 4 dice. He's like, I need you to roll 6 or higher. And I'm like, hold up. Because I'm like, this is a 6-sided dice, so there's nothing higher than a 6. So I look at Sean and I'm just like, so you need me to roll 6 on these dice, right? He's like, yeah. And I'm like,
On how
on a 6-sided dice.
and on how many?
Four.
How many?
On
of
like
them?
4 dice.
4 dice.
Yeah.
And my literal response is just like, you know what? I'm going to have to tell my therapist about this. That you're mentally abusing me. Roll a 6 on a 6-sided dice.
Yeah.
3 or higher, I can do 6 or higher. I don't know how you can get higher than that, but sure, whatever.
You know what? And I'm really happy because it's only like the second time that me and Sean have played like Warhammer. We did a lot better the second time.
Yeah,
Like,
way
we-
more fast.
Because the first time we played, it took us almost 45 minutes to do my turn.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, how does that work? How does this do?
Haven't
What
you-
is
go back
that?
to the
took you
video.
guys like half an hour to do the turn. You were like
Jesus.
hard,
No,
hard
turns
finish
are-
at 10:30, and it was like 11:20.
Because we were trying to finish.
We were talking to for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
not
only
for
that,
me.
but also, once you get into it, like you're in.
It's over. It's done.
Like you're like not until the last man's dead.
All right. So before, because you got a story to tell
Yes.
us. So before we do that, look what we got. Mountain Dew Voodoo 2024. I think we've done one every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the new flavor that came out, Voodoo 6. I don't know what flavor it is.
It smells like purple.
Smells like purple,
It smells like purple.
and it's a candy.
It's supposed to be
Ooh.
a Halloween treat.
It smells like purple.
I know
All
what
right.
this is.
I can't smell as well.
I my nose knows it, but I can't distinguish it.
There, it has to do with an animal.
Oh
Is it Peeps?
no.
No. It's from our
Oh.
it's from our childhood. It's an animal, and it has to do something with tattoos.
You know it? You know
Like
it?
a
Just
fruit roll
smelling.
up.
No, that's not a fruit roll up.
Mm-mm. It's that
That's
zebra
why I can't
gum.
smell.
It's that zebra gun as our childhood.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it tastes exactly like it.
Look it up. See what it is. See if
Yeah,
it
look
is.
up Mountain Dew Voodoo
Mi-
Flavor 2024.
Yeah, what is it? Because hold on, what's your guess? What do you think it is?
Come back to me. I'll finish.
My guess is purple. As soon as
It's
I
that purple stuff.
As soon as I
It's
smelled,
that great purple stuff.
No, as soon as I smelled it, that was what my envision of like what purple would smell like.
It's like a fruit candy, that's for sure.
I know my taste buds are messing with me because I'm sick, so I don't
Because of
know.
COVID. This tastes like a lollipop. You know what? I'm gonna go with
Blow pop?
like a Tootsie Roll blow pop.
I was gonna say ring pop.
I think
Could be. I'm gonna say blow pop.
I'm gonna say I'm thinking the Tootsie Pops.
Tootsie Pops? Okay.
I feel like it's a Tootsie Pop.
I think
Like a
it's a
great
It
Tootsie
can't be
Pop.
bubblegum flavor though. I get what Sean's trying to say with the zebra, but I'm like, I don't think it is.
Tastes like that zebra gum to me. Like even when I smelled it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's."
Yeah.
Okay,
You
This
able
is-
to find it?
this is somewhat disgusting. Though.
I found a
No,
description.
It's not great.
What does it say in the description?
Voodoo 6.0 is a mysterious flavor of Mountain Dew and has a white look With a similar theme to the Mountain Dew other Halloween flavors, it's confirmed to be a collaboration with the top Halloween candy brand marketing. The second time Mountain Dew has partnered with
You're
the
just
candy.
explaining what it does.
Yeah.
What it is. Like,
Special
Top Halloween
clues. There are no hints. Okay, answer. No answers yet.
Yeah.
No
because
correct
they
answers.
just released this.
They just released it. I say give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like it tastes like a Tootsie Pop. What is it? Go get it. Taste it yourself.
Well, that's the thing is that these are hard to get.
I
I
know.
literally went to Target like a week ago and bought 2 cases.
All right. Well, if you were lucky enough to find these,
Yeah.
taste it and come back and tell us what you think.
I
it
like
is.
Mountain Dew. I
So it just tells me last year's flavor was cherry Airheads.
yeah.
That was
Cherry
last year's.
I still have a
That
box.
was
of
last
year's.
year's.
Yeah, but I remember Cherry Airhead being good. I remember that being really tasty. This is
This is good. I like it.
I wouldn't get it again. I mean, it's good enough to try, but it's not my favorite.
Skittles.
Oh,
Skittles.
You know what?
You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
No,
whoa.
sweet tarts. Do they do sweet tarts
They
already?
haven't done sweet tarts. They've done caramel apple.
I'm gonna
candy
say
corn.
it's okay. When you said Skittles,
Swish it in your mouth. Swish it in your mouth a little bit and then drink it.
You're right. It's
I
Skittles.
chugged it and I was like, it's Skittles.
I'm
so
gonna
it's-
stick with cherry,
you know-
the chewy sweet tarts.
You know what it
The
tastes
chewy
like?
sweet tarts?
It tastes like when you get all the Skittles
Tropical Skittles.
and like you throw them in your mouth.
Sean, you might have gotten it. You might have gotten
As
it.
soon as you said Skittles, it triggered the thought in my head. Oh, yeah, it's Skittles. That's the tropical Skittles. And they
Take
just-
back your zebra thing.
Yeah.
It's Skittles. You're right. That's it.
I think it's go get
We'll
Skittles.
just have to wait next week.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's
All right,
see.
so next week, bring more, and then we're gonna get Skittles.
Why bring more? I got 2 cases. They're all for me.
You're really gonna drink that much Skittle juice?
Yes, I love Mountain Dew.
You want to taste that rainbow?
Dude, I have Mountain Dude, my fridge is stocked with Mountain Dew.
Is it in IV
believe
bags?
I wish. My dream is to potentially get sponsored by Mountain Dew at some point in my life.
All right.
I would love Red Bull to sponsor me.
You want to become a Red Bull athlete?
Oh, I would love to do crazy stuff.
You know what? They
I
haven't.
totally would.
Have you ever
Sorry.
gone to a Flutog? The
A
Red Bull
Flutog?
Flutogs?
No, but I've seen the videos.
Dude,
I
my-
love watching those.
When they used to host them at Long Beach, I've gone to 2. My dad and I used to go. So much fun, and it's so funny to see people just do stupid things with like them just flying off the ramp in their like makeshift like airplanes.
It's just wobbling and there's like so
Yeah.
much stress on one wheel. I'm like, oh, it's gonna break. It's gonna break.
They haven't brought them back.
The
Wipeouts are great.
Yeah, the wipeouts are really good, but I always like the ones that look like they're gonna fall apart and then they fly
Yes.
and they work, and you're like, no.
How?
If they ever bring the events back,
That's
I'm down to
impossible.
go.
Okay.
Again.
Dude, I'm down. To
I would
participate.
be down to go.
Yeah.
I would be down to participate as well.
Let's do it. Come on, dude.
I'd be down
Let's
to part.
build one.
I'll do it.
We can build one.
Yeah.
Build
Who
one?
flies it though? It's 2 people have to fly it.
Oh, the Red Bull. Oh god.
Yeah, the Red Bull Flutog.
2 people push. Two
you
people
know
drive.
what? You guys
Two
kept
people-
talking about it. I'm just sitting here, just agreeing. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's on fire. I'm like, okay.
He's
We're gonna
Renee's
change the
still like-
subject.
He's driving.
I'm like,
He's driving.
Ray's like
I'm
nodding
like,
his head,
yeah.
and then he goes like, "When did I get in the driver's seat?"
yeah.
Wait, when did I agree to this?
How
You
am I in the
agreed to
water?
this.
Like,
When did I agree to this?
yeah. What were we doing for 6 months?
Building.
Don't remember any of that.
It's like click.
Right?
It's just like click. You wake
I'm just
up.
on my phone. I'm just like, yeah, no, so it looks good. Yeah.
It's a real life
The
click
theme
situation.
is
Right?
the theme is an ambulance, and we have Rene in a what is it called in one of those medical beds, but strapped down. The moment he flies. What? What was your idea?
I kind of want to do that. Yeah.
Oh my god, I was joking.
And
We're
we'll
not
put
gonna kill him.
And we'll put trash bags on it,
Why?
so that way it kind of floats.
It
kind of floats.
Yeah.
Our theme: discarding a dead body.
Yeah.
CSI. CSI inspired.
Oh my god.
We go in like actual doctors' uniforms. We strap them to the bed. And then we run them down the mountain.
Jesus.
We run them down the ramp, and then we just like let it go and just see what happens. And then watch the trash bags open, and then immediately rip off. And it's just,
Oh my god, Rene, what's your story, dude?
Oh, okay. This past weekend, I was working here on a Saturday, and then mind you guys, when I have encounters with customers and it requires of me of being snarky, Susan always knows. I tell her when I see her and stuff like that. But I keep forgetting that people don't know that, so I have to iterate that sometimes. So this happened on Saturday. Guy came in. He's like on his phone, FaceTiming with like whatever guy he's talking to. Mind you, he's a little on the young side, but he's talking whatever straight talk it is, and he's like, "Yeah, man, this place looks pretty cool, huh? Yeah, buddy." And he's like, okay, cool. He comes up to me. He comes up to the counter, looks at the those comic boxes, you know, the ones that have graphics on it and stuff. He goes, "What'd these be?" And I go, "What?" And he's all like, "Oh, what are these?" "Oh, because you said what these be, and I don't know what the hell you just said." And I'm like, "Those be comic boxes." He's all like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, whew. Because I mocked the guy. It could have ended badly, but luckily he took my joke and stuff. But
Was he streaming?
No, he was just FaceTiming with someone.
Was it the Instagram live thing?
No, he was I could
FaceTime.
see the face of the person he was talking to.
He's probably talking like that.
I don't know.
Because he's a kid.
Yeah.
He probably was.
Yeah,
Mid-20s?
Yeah, mid 20s.
He probably had like a buddy of his, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I got a comic book shop up the street from my school." He probably goes to Whittier High.
Yeah. And then it was just basically
Mid-20s goes to Whittier High.
I don't know.
Super senior by 4 years.
Generation is getting slower.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
And it comes to a halt.
Right.
Listen, idiocracy is already happening.
Oh yes. Yeah.
We already have a
Crocs.
Crocs are the shoe we're wearing. We've already had a WWE Hall of Famer as a president.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like
The facts don't lie.
truth is a lie and lies
He
are
might
truth.
win it again this year too.
What?
He might win it again this year.
Whoa.
Hey, you never know. Never know.
I
dude.
mean,
We gotta see what Vegas odds
people
are.
could shock you.
Vegas odds.
That's true.
Yeah. No, actually, Vegas calls it almost every year.
Do they really?
Yeah, if you look up the day or two before, and then you go, what are Vegas odds? Usually Vegas will tell you who's going to be president.
Wow.
And also there's a guy that apparently since Jimmy Carter, I think it was, he's been predicting the elections, and he's gotten every single one right. He always guesses right, and he's
Crazy.
he already called it.
You know what we should do? We
He
should
already-
just start seeing if the puppies can predict it.
Well, no, this guy already predicted who it was, and he actually went through how he does it, like what his process is and how he does it. Makes a lot of sense. He already
Process math.
he called it for the Dems. He already called it for Dems. So
That the Dems will take it again.
yeah, the Kamala Harris will win. He already called it.
I see that very likely. I'm seeing all the people that voted for Trump last year. They're
starting to
jumping. They're
switch.
jumping ship. Yeah.
A lot of people are switching.
The Republican Party is not really.
I love how this is becoming
Gun-ho.
political talk. No, honestly,
And we can do a little political talk.
I refrain from talking from it because I feel
Rhino.
like people just get so like offended by anything that you say.
It's so funny that people can really end friendships or relationships just basically off what political beliefs are, and I find that very ridiculous.
Monica has said that she doesn't talk to family anymore
Yeah.
because of.
Well, I mean, I don't talk to family just for personal reasons, but like,
That's your own personal.
that's my own
story.
personal bridge to bear. But no, but no, that's the thing. I mean, I talk to a lot of friends, and I'm still friends with a lot of friends that are the opposite political beliefs that I have. And I was gonna do that, I just didn't. I didn't grab tape, and so then it's just funny that people, because one person. My sister made a comment about the after what is it after the attempted assassination,
The first
two.
or the
Yeah.
second?
First one or the second one?
the first one.
And the third
One of my
one towards Kamala.
one of my
It
friends.
was somebody tried to assassinate her too.
Someone shot up one of her offices.
When was this?
This was like a week ago.
Oh,
I didn't
What?
hear. I didn't hear about
I didn't hear
it.
about that.
I'll see
dang.
if I can find it. Go on.
Yeah, so after the first attemptation on Trump, and then one of my friends on Facebook posted something of his reaction to it. Mind you, obviously he's for him. And my sister just made a comment, just like a laughing comment and stuff like that, because he said, well, I don't want to say what he said. It's fine. But he was saying, they didn't get him, thank God, and stuff. My sister was like, ha 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 ha, and he commented saying, why is that funny? She goes, I just thought it was funny. And then after that, he blocked her and stuff. I'm like, really, dude? I'm like, come on. But it's just, to me, I'm just like,
The way I see it is, as long as
Sensitive.
the people, because
Yeah.
I have family that are Republican, like hardcore Republican.
Yeah.
I still talk to them.
Yeah.
I still love them as family.
Yeah.
As long as they're not hurting anyone, I don't see
I mean,
a
they're
problem
hurting a
with.
few people.
Well,
They're
I mean,
they're hurting a lot of people.
Excuse me. Sorry, that's the voodoo. God, I was trying to get away from the mic, and I just
Dude,
went,
that spirit out of you.
That was. there
but
was
you can't
evil
sway the
spirits.
opinions and
Yeah.
positions of certain people. What do you
that's
know?
true. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it's like as long as they're not hurting me,
Yeah,
people
it's-
that I care about or I
They will.
love.
It's the same rules as of religion. You know, don't
Exactly.
you can believe what you want to believe, worship who you want to worship. Just don't push it on me.
Yeah, that's all it
Yeah.
is.
If I'm not into it, and you know I'm not into it, don't try to break that barrier.
Yeah,
Is
or,
that's all
you know,
it is.
just don't walk into a
Yeah.
mosque with an M16. You know, that
That's,
too.
yeah, that's true.
That also works as well.
Don't believe in Scientology, though, folks. That's the
Tom
one
Cruise.
I will advise.
That's the one where you're just like.
That's the
where
one I
draw the
would. That's
line.
the. I wouldn't even call it a religion. It's just
I-
more of an organized cult.
I have this ongoing bit in my head is that whenever Tom Cruise meets someone, he just looks at him. He goes, "You Christian?" He goes, "Let me talk to you something." He's like,
Oh, no.
and then he just
I don't. I always feel like it's like that. but
Yeah.
It's more the beginning of the Book of Mormon,
Yeah.
where it's just like, hello,
Hello.
Have you heard?
It's funny.
Have you heard
how-
about my Lord and
Yeah.
Savior Xenu?
have you guys seen how Scientology people act when people are recording in front of their buildings and they're like, "Oh yeah, guys, it's a scam. Don't you think?" And then like their beliefs or their I don't know who it's the people that are in the he's gonna blow his nose.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nick's
I was very
Nick's
confused.
yeah. Nick was really. I was trying to play it off, but Nick was like,
In all fairness,
Yeah.
I just saw him get up, grab toilet paper, and walk to the other room, and I'm like, "That's not where the bathroom is.
yeah.
I think he's gonna go take a dump in in the front room.
No, he's gonna blow his nose.
He's gonna pop a squat."
Yeah, he's still under the weather. But I've seen videos where they basically people that are people that believe in Scientology, like they're lackeys. They come at
Essentially.
they come at the people and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
and stuff, and they're being aggressive, and I'm just like, Jesus.
Very, very
Wow.
hostile.
I mean, there's aggressive people. on all
Yeah.
sides.
I mean, the fact that they also
There's a
hire
radical.
public private investigators to keep tabs on ex-members for years. Like, this isn't like we're gonna keep an eye on them for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, like we will devote so many resources
Still
forever.
talking about Scientology?
I've always,
Yeah.
I really like
They're
the
scary.
bit. I always like the bit from what was it from Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Charles has to join the cult. Charles has to join a cult, and then Jake ends up joining as well, and then they're trying to get out of it. And then they're like, "Can you? You just need to sign this affidavit that you've seen the pastor's wife, and she's alive, she's alive, well, and okay." And then they're like, "Oh, dude, she's super dead."
They brought that bit so many times.
And they just kept on doing it.
Yeah.
Andy brought up the fact that we should rewatch Brooklyn Nine-Nine again from the start. And I'm
So
like,
good.
you know what? It makes sense because the Halloween heists are always great.
Ah,
and my
yeah.
favorite line is when they use cheddar to trick Captain Hulk.
Yeah.
And it's not cheddar. And my favorite line that he ever delivers is like, "You're not cheddar. You're just some common street bitch."
And they're like, "Oh no, that's your dog. This bitch."
I think one of my favorite opening bits from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is when they talk about Jake and how messy he always is.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
captain goes,
which one-
These two
this-
pictures are
it's a-
different. One of them is your locker, and one of them is from a dumpster in Taiwan." He goes, "Which one's your locker?" He's all,
That one?
"That one. They're both your locker." He's good. He's good.
He got me. He's like, "Oh, I have the most cases closed. You also have the most mice living in your desk."
Yeah.
And then he opens it up. "Oh my God, guys, Algernon is back."
Something about Andy Samberg playing that character, man, is just so
good.
good.
He's,
Yeah.
he's
Funko
amazing.
is releasing a Brooklyn Nine-Nine set.
Are
Oh,
they
really?
I want
Yeah.
to get all of them.
I told, she's like, "We can't fit any more Funkos," and I'm like, "I don't want them,
I just
but I
want
really
cheddar.
do
What
want
about
them."
cheddar?
Was Terry's
It's in Captain Holt's box.
was Terry Crews' name in the show Terry?
Yes.
Okay. I hope they have Terry holding yogurt.
So I think what they have what they're going to be releasing is Peralta,
Amy,
Holt, and Boyle. That's it
as the starters.
as the starters because you still have
I really-
Rosa and
I'm not gonna lie.
What's
I
her
really
name? Gina.
Gina. Oh, Gina. Yeah.
I really want a Holt bending over and showing a tattoo pop.
What?
When he shows
That's
his
like
tattoo.
in series 4.
Oh, yeah.
When he shows his tattoo and it's cheddar, but with Kevin's head.
That's right.
They'll do it. They'll do it. Because I mean, they've done
It's an
so many
iconic
things
scene.
for The Office.
Have
Yeah.
you
So many
seen
Office
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen episodes here and there, but not like
It's-
it
they-
from beginning
like,
to end.
You
Oh,
should.
it's so good. Like I love when he's like, "Oh, guys, it's like the Memento disease." The what? He's like, "Oh, Christopher Nolan's first movie," and he goes like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Finding Dory disease," and he goes, "Finding Dory." Oh yeah, and also Jake, Memento's not Christopher Nolan's first movie.
Yeah.
You sound like an idiot.
Right.
Oh, there's that also episode where they go to Nakatomi Tower.
Oh yeah, and he's just like, "This is when this happened. This is where this happened."
That'd be me.
I can't wait for Christmas, dude.
Yeah.
Die Hard. You get to
Die
just
Hard.
watch Die Hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Die Hard for like 30 days.
Should we jump into comic strips?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's
All
jump
right.
into comic strips.
Start undressing.
Comic strips, the portion of
Oh.
the show where we talked about topics that don't. What?
No, I was.
Did you
gonna-
want to do it?
Yeah, I was gonna do it.
Go ahead, do it.
I was gonna riff it off the top of my head.
Do it.
Comic strips, portion of the show where we don't ramble for more than 15 minutes or less. Quick bite-sized snips that we have here. All right, it was like a C.
That's Sean's.
Yeah.
Sean's version.
Sean's version.
Hit us with the first one, Sean.
All right, the first one, this spin series from the world of John Wick. Ballerina released a trailer this past week featuring Anna de Armas. Yeah, babe, is she? I don't know.
You don't even know what?
What?
Babe,
I'm reading the notes right here. That's
Yeah,
exactly what you wrote down. I don't know.
Wait, hold
Brian,
on, did-
take over.
Hang on, hold on. I just want to know. In his notes, did he write Arma de Armas, babe? Question mark.
no.
No, it just says babe.
No,
I don't know.
I didn't
No,
write that.
no, you
I was going to
didn't.
say, I'm like, I didn't write that. It's Anna de Armas,
Norman Reedus, Keanu Reeves, and Lannis Riddick as Charon? Charon, yeah. In the final on-screen appearance for the film after his death.
Well, this is going to be Lance Reddick's final performance on screen after his passing.
That's good.
And this film is going to be taking place between John Wick 3 and 4.
Sick. I'm into it.
Yeah. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's good.
It looks good.
She looks really good doing gung fu.
Yeah.
She's moving really well.
It's simple, delicate gun fu, not super exaggerated. And
It's more dancey though.
Yeah.
Like a ballerina.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
god.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I was talking to Andy about this because like she started getting into John
Yeah,
Wick
yeah.
after like Sarah got into John Wick. She's
Yeah.
like, these movies are pretty good. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're good. I told
Andy
you.
loves them. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's just like, I really like Anna de Armas as an actress,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm interested in seeing what she would be in this one. I'm like, she looks good.
I want to watch Ghosted with her and Chris
It's really
Evans.
good. It's really
Yeah.
good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I gotta watch that.
I mean, Arna de Armas, she does a really good job. Like, she's just a really good actress.
Yeah.
She was in Blade Runner as the AI, right?
She was the Blade Runner, Knives Out.
Knives Out.
She was also in Ghosted.
Oh, she was in Knives Out.
Yeah.
She was in
That
Knock
was
Knock,
her.
another
She was.
Keanu
Oh, she
movie.
was. She was the
She
blonde
was in
girl.
Knock Knock.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. She was. She was in Knock Knock. I
was.
actually don't like that movie.
Me neither.
That movie's like really, really weird.
It really is.
It's not a great horror film.
just the way they end it. They're like,
Like,
oh yeah, like like Keanu Reeves' life is ruined, and I'm like, he can easily just say he was taken hostage.
You broke in.
Yeah, you broke in. Oh, fixed. I'm like,
Yeah, there were easy solutions.
yeah, because okay, the whole point of Knock Knock is that like, okay, these two girls go into this married guy's house, and they
Seduce
have their way with him.
They seduce him.
Then they tie him down and be like, you are a fornicator, you are a cheater and stuff, you are just a classic man, blah blah blah. And then it ends with him him buried to the head in his backyard,
Gagged.
and they're gagged, and they're
I think they're
streaming.
destroying his
They're
house, right?
they're posting the video of their sexcapades on his Facebook, and everyone's seeing
Like
it.
all over his social media.
Yeah, all
They
over his
sent it to
social media,
They sent it to his wife. They did everything
Yeah.
else. They're just blowing up his life.
And then, but then so they leave him, and so you're meant to think, oh, his life is ruined now. And,
Or he died.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, his wife can easily just see that he was held hostage and that
He was raped.
He was raped. He can easily just say that.
I haven't
Like,
I haven't
that's
seen
fixed.
Knock Knock. Is this anything similar to Hard Candy in a sense?
No.
No.
Not
Not
as
at all.
graphic,
Premise-wise?
but it's trying to get the message like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but hard candy is
Hard candy, yeah, that has to do with like rapist and
No, yeah,
child
knock
molest,
knock
yeah.
knock.
So
is more,
so he didn't do any of that.
No,
No,
knock,
no.
no,
Oh.
knock,
he
knock,
was seduced.
No,
Yeah.
knock knock is very much the temptation.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the temptation of the serpent
Mm.
and everything else of like, oh yeah, it's the forbidden fruit and you're not supposed to have it, and like he's trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
and then every single time that he gives them a response, he's all like they always have an answer and everything else. Then once he finally caves, then they're like, oh, you're a whore, and it's like, I mean, come on. I don't like the movie all that much.
I guess this is their
It's a-
third project with Keanu because they've also been in Exposed together that came out in 2016.
Oh,
So
dang.
it seems like they have a history.
They do well
She was
together.
also in that Ben Affleck movie.
Yeah,
where-
Deep Water.
Deepwater. Yeah,
That one's weird. Have
Yeah.
you seen that
No.
movie?
I haven't. I want to though.
So the idea of it is that she is married to Ben Affleck, and she is purposefully she's purposefully having affairs and bringing them around. So Ben Affleck is forced to murder them because she thinks that
I've heard of this movie.
Yeah.
because the fact that he would go that far for her turns her on.
yeah,
And like it shows the amount of love. One of the weirdest Ben Affleck movies.
Was it produced by him?
I don't
Let's
know
see.
if it
I have the
is.
wiki right here.
Because
I don't know if it is, but it's
what's
definitely
the
a weird
Gone
movie.
Girl was
Gone
produced
Girl.
by
Yeah, it was
Ben
produced by
Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
But it's like this weird Gone Girl-y movie it's just really weird. It's not.
Adrian Lin.
Yeah, it's not. I honestly, it feels very artsy, but it's almost too artsy. Where it's like, okay,
It's too self-aware of
It's,
Yeah.
itself.
it's based on
Yeah.
a novel from 1957,
It is.
so I don't know if that has to do anything with.
maybe
Maybe
that
it
could
was a
be
straight
it.
adaptation. It wasn't a process to like try to make it.
Well, because
modern
like,
or unique.
yeah, and it was always really funny too because they kept on talking about it where they were like, oh, well, he's just really rich and he has all this time on his hands.
yeah,
And they were like, what does he do? And it's like, oh, he created a microchip. And they were like, what? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh yeah, like he created all the microchips that go into like warheads, and that's how he has all his money. And they were just like,
Interesting.
okay, cool. Like that's how he made all his money, and his wife just keeps on cheating on him.
yeah.
I make
And-
money by stripping. I mean,
Okay, I'm
Bill's
interested
gotta
to
get
see
paid.
Norman Reedus in this movie.
I
Yeah,
honestly-
me too.
Not
That's
gonna lie,
cool.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm interested in seeing Sean strip. I really thought that's where you were going with
you
it. I don't know
would.
why.
What's
I
the
would
next
too.
bit?
yeah. the other trailer that was released this week includes The Last of Us season 2. Ooh,
Yes.
you guys excited for season 2?
I'm excited for people to be frustrated and hate season 2.
Yeah.
You know
We
what?
also got Thunderbolts this week.
You know what? I feel that season 2
I'm not ready.
for
No.
The
Oh, I
Last
am.
of Us,
For the heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I,
give me the heartbreak.
I feel like The Last of Us could. I feel like that could work if they fix a couple of things. There was only like a couple of things that were just wrong in that situation.
I think it was
for
the pacing
I think it was the pacing of the game, but I
because
think
it just happens, and I get it. You're going for shock value, but in a storytelling aspect, you could have made it more.
The big shock
symbolic.
isn't supposed to happen until season 3. They've
Yeah.
already talked about that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm really I'm really hoping that this in between is possibly the in between, because remember, he isn't talking to Ellie by the time he gets to part 2.
Yeah,
There was some kind of a falling out in
Yeah.
between 1 and 2.
she kind of figures it out. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She puts the pieces together over time.
Well, yeah, and he keeps lying to her.
Yeah,
and
and
that's
then
what she's.
that's the thing.
And that's why she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited.
Well, because also, I mean, spoilers. If they were to do it in season 2, then Pedro Pascal would be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a
Yeah.
moneymaker.
Yeah.
Maybe they end the season with his death, so that way they have him on for an entirety of that many episodes.
No, you want to keep Pedro on for at least the season 3 to get the hook.
Yeah.
Because Bella Ramsey is becoming a hook, but she's not Pedro
But-
Pascal level.
Yeah, she doesn't have that
She doesn't have the name.
level,
But
that
she's
star
getting
power.
there. She's
Yeah,
getting there,
She's-
which is
she
really
doesn't-
good.
getting her
doesn't have the
recognition.
name.
Yeah.
she's so cool in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I just
I've heard.
I mean,
that.
well, because he's gonna be gone for a while because he's signed on to do Fantastic Four. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and
I'm
he's
just
doing,
kind of like.
I mean, that would make sense if they were already done
Yeah.
and they didn't need to do it. He's already done.
yeah.
I'm nervous for season 2. just because Andy really got into season 1.
So did
She
Monica.
doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't do
Monica.
well with emotional moments, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm gonna get emotional.
I'm really
I
hop-
don't.
I'm
I
really
can't
hoping
carry her
that
if she's
Monica
emotional.
skipped.
I just hope the buildup is good.
I'm really hoping that
leading
Monica
up to
skipped
it.
that one little tiny section. I'm gonna tell her to like, hey, we're talking about Last of Us. Just skip
Yeah.
because she knows nothing,
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
neither does
and that
Andy.
and
Yeah.
I want
Well,
her.
Mandy
to, like,
already knows because she watches like
The Let's
people.
Plays.
Yeah, she watches Let's Plays. She's boring. So
There's nothing wrong with that. That's always fun.
I never
can't-
enjoy.
I
I
can't
can't watch
watch-
Let's Plays.
I watched the movie. Like I type in the name of the game and I look up the movie and it's just someone who spliced all the
All the
cinematics.
cutscenes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that
All right,
works.
cool.
I did that for Suicide Squad because I didn't.
Oh,
want,
yeah.
I
Oh
I
yeah,
just didn't
you
want
wanna
to
play.
I did
Yeah.
that. Well, I just watched like the final boss fights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Also, Thunderbolts trailer
Oh,
for
Thunderbolts
Thunderbolts came out this week as
yes.
well.
that
That
one
wasn't-
looks very interesting.
Yeah.
looks fun.
Did you guys see the Sentry? Who's
Yeah.
who's playing
Yeah.
the Sentry now?
Yeah, I wish
Bob.
it was. I wish it was
What's his name?
Steven Yeun.
Yeah,
Yen
from
would-
Yeah.
he would have been a
Walking
good
Dead.
Sentry. He
That would have
Yeah.
been
really
good. I would love to see him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What was it? He it was a conflict in his schedule.
Scheduling.
wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to back out. So
I love how they made this connection that the actor that's playing Sentry is playing someone named Bob in Thunderbolts, and he played Bob in Maverick.
he did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I've
what's
been
his
seeing
name?
those memes pop up. They're
That's
hilarious.
yeah, that's what's his name? His son from Independence Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman.
Bill
Pullman.
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 Pullman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
that's
his
his
son?
son. That's his
Lewis.
son.
This is
Oh.
Lewis Pullman.
Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. It's kind of like Jack Quaid and all them. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I'm excited for Thunderbolts.
I like it. I thought it was very interesting because it felt very Suicide Squad-y.
But
Like
the
it
Marvel version of it.
like Marvel's version. Like it's so funny to kind of like see them watch James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie and go, that would have been a really good Thunderbolt.
Right?
Like if only we could have done this for Thunderbolts.
Well-
And they're like, well, how do we do this?
Well, everyone's saying that when they have that little asterisk at the end of it, that little star thing, they're saying that by the time the movie ends, they're gonna rebrand themselves and call themselves the Dark Avengers.
The Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Or
I
the,
was like, yeah,
I can also see the West Coast Avengers.
West Coast Avengers, yeah. No, they could rebrand and call themselves just Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
because which also would make sense with what was it, with Captain America,
Mm-hmm.
because he's trying to get Captain America to be a specific position in the U.S. Army.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be surprising if they had already made the Avengers a actual like platoon in the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
Like they're a special forces unit.
I'm interested to see what direction both Captain America and Thunderbolts is gonna take the MCU
Mm-hmm.
in, because you guys were talking about Agatha all along last week, and you were talking about like, you know, you're more invested in the Penguin over Agatha.
Yeah.
I find myself being more invested in Agatha than Penguin. I haven't even seen the first episode of Penguin, just because I know it's gonna be
Then why
there.
would you say that statement?
Yeah, no, why would you? Why
Why would you say that?
would you
Yeah.
compare
Why
them?
would you?
Why would
you
Why?
watch
Why?
Why?
Huh?
Because I'm gonna watch.
Who's paying
Yeah,
you?
but
Who's
you
paying
haven't
you? Are
watched
you a
Penguin.
shill?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
What?
We all just
I'm
turned on you.
so
We all just-
confused.
So
I'm
am I. What just
I'm
happened right
like,
now?
I know. I'm like, what?
No, what happened? What are you talking about?
It was so great because all three of us.
Sean, what else are we talking about? Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, yeah, because I heard an insane statement. And I just,
Go ahead. You were gonna say that was just a bit bad.
I know, but I'm lost. I don't even know what
that was
happened.
the point. That was the point.
No, like my head, I lost like seconds of my life for a second. I don't
You
remember.
did. You're not gonna get those back, so just deal with
It
it.
was the reason.
Hold up, hang on.
Just so that way,
Sean, go ahead, do the next bit. I hang on. That threw me for no, legitimately. I don't remember like seconds of my life for a second.
Oh, are you okay?
I guess I don't know. It's just that was a
I mean, he's
lot.
alive, so
It's
he's
okay,
fine.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's just that was weird.
It's just a minor
Sorry.
stroke. It's fine.
Minor stroke.
It's just minor stroke.
This one's pretty big. Beta Mayo, former showrunner of X-Men '97, has stated that plans for Onslaught / Age of Apocalypse has been canceled for season 2 of the series.
How would he know?
So
That's
there's a bit that I
yeah.
included on there.
Mhm. Many are speculating that the stories are being revised and not fully scrapped to avoid crediting DeMaio after this recent allegation. After his
Yeah.
recent
So
allegations.
this was coming directly from DeMaio's Twitter,
Yeah.
where he basically stated that the Onslaught and Age of Apocalypse storyline is completely scrapped. But he's been making a lot of statements about not being credited for his work and that the allegations are false and that they're targeting him because he's gay and all these different things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like
That's
he's
what he
saying
said
a
when he
lot of-
first got fired.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of different speculations, but bear in mind that the creator or the other people working on the show, they're still trying to figure out what storyline to go forward with season 2.
Yeah.
And so long as they revise a big portion of the storyline, they could still continue on with the Age of Apocalypse Onslaught story.
My big thing is that they had plenty of time from when he got fired to the end of the show. And if it was going to be that big of a problem, they should have just postponed it. But I don't think they would have just gone, hey, look, it's Apocalypse. And then in the next season just go like, it wasn't Apocalypse. Like it was something totally different. Like they've already committed.
There's plenty of
Apocalypse stories.
Yeah, or just X-Men villains in general. You have there's a list.
Take him to space.
You could do Mr. Sinister.
They already were in space.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Or you can do Mojo.
Did you not watch 97?
No,
You
I
can
still
do
haven't.
Mojo.
No,
you know?
97
Those
like
characters
half
were
the-
already introduced in the
half
show.
half
Yeah,
of it
but you
takes
can
place
bring
in
him
space.
back. That's
Yeah.
the thing, you know.
Because
But-
Charles
on
goes into
Yeah.
space at the very end of at the very end of the original X-Men.
Yeah.
So he goes into space and then he's like the emperor. He's like the
With his
prince?
girlfriend, the bald lady.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Wait,
And
I
then-
think Mojo dies in X-Men 97.
Does he die in
He does.
X-Men 97?
Yeah, he does. It's like the third episode.
Yeah,
That was the
Well, it's
Mojo
comic
World one?
books, no one ever dies.
that is true.
Yeah, it's Mojo World
Mojo.
episode. Anyway, yes, go watch it. It's a solid watch. It is a solid watch.
When I'm done with Venture Brothers.
No, watch it now.
No.
You've already seen Venture Brothers.
No. I haven't seen.
You've never seen Venture Brothers?
I haven't finished the last season, and I'm on the last season, and I need the movie.
Oh,
Yes.
it's good.
So-
It's good.
Wrestling news has erupted this week with what is this? The
Mr.
documentary
Yeah.
titled
Mr. McMahon.
title
McMahon.
change. Yes.
Is it hard to read?
Literally, it's typed. How
It
is it
is.
hard to read?
I don't
I
know.
need
He's having a hard
glasses.
time.
Oh, I was
He's
like-
having a hard time. That's
It's
why.
white, bright.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling news has erupted this week with documentaries.
Dyslexia.
It is released on Wednesday on Netflix,
Okay.
telling the story of the WWE rise of popularity under Vince's reign. 8-episode series, about 50 minutes per episode. Big E, member of the New Day,
Oh yeah.
says
There's a
he's
couple
getting scans in 3 to 6 months that will determine
saw
if
that.
getting back
Yeah.
into the ring is possible.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
He
We'll
was
see.
a great
There's
wrestler.
2 more
So-
pieces, I
Yes.
think, that were on there. I
For
think I also
WWE?
did
Just one more.
one more. Yeah.
Jey Uso wins international title from Brooke
Intercontinental.
Breaker. Nice.
Yeah, no, it's really good push for him. You know,
my big,
won his first singles title.
yeah,
Mhm.
my
In
my
his
big
entire
thing
career.
for the McMahon documentary is so far it hasn't been as revolutionary as like Tiger King or
Yeah.
any of these other documentaries that the documentarian had, and you can kind of tell that the subject stopped participating. Where, because at a certain point, because I was watching it with Rene, it stops being about McMahon, and it just starts being a WWE documentary.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
But the problem is that he's not going as in depth as the WWE already went.
Yeah.
Like they have their own documentaries, like singular documentaries that are really, really good.
I think what it is that knowing what we know now about Vince McMahon, and when you watch the documentary,
Feels
you
very
can,
tame.
yeah, it's very tamed. You can tell he's holding back.
He literally says, "I wish I could tell you the actual story."
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning.
And he's all like, "Oh, well, tell us one." He goes, "Well, no, I can't, but
What's the point of the
I'll give you
documentary?
something."
Huh?
Then what's the point of the documentary if he's
That's
not
the big
Yeah.
thing. Like the
getting
one I was
blueballed?
the one when I was watching it with Rene,
Yeah.
we were going over Owen Hart.
Yeah,
Like the whole controversy of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, do you know what happened with Owen Hart?
No.
with Brett the Hitman Hart's brother.
Yeah, Owen Hart was he had this persona where he would wear like a blue costume and everything else, and then he would fly into the ring. They would have him on a harness, and he would
Oh,
fly
no.
into the ring. He was in the lights went dark, and he fell from the top rafters all the way to the bottom of the ring, and he died instantly.
He fell on the ropes, and it snapped his neck.
Well,
Oh.
there's a lot of things that they're questioning.
Yeah.
That they're like,
Where was
we
the
don't know.
safety precaution?
Well,
So
in this?
that was the
that's
thing.
and that was the
like
thing.
have him anchored or
Well,
something.
that was the thing though, is that
he was
apparently
wearing a
he was wearing
harness,
a harness.
Oh.
and apparently the harness wasn't holding right, and it choked him. It choked him, and suffocated him. And then by the time he hit the ring, he was already dead.
There's other
But-
articles that say that
Poor
it
guy.
was supposed to be a harness that has a quick release because the bit was that he was supposed to descend and then malfunction. So he was supposed to fall at a certain height that was controlled. It was supposed to be comical. But in the process of moving around, according to his wife,
Yeah.
he had moved a certain way that the safety latch had pre-released. So as he was descending, it activated and it basically fell.
Because he used to play this character previously before becoming Owen Hart in the WWE, and then when they brought him back, they put him back inside the blue costume, but he isn't like this, like, oh yeah, like Captain America. He's a goof. He's very clumsy. He's very, he falls all the time. He always trips over his own feet. His cape gets stuck under the ring.
Yeah.
Like that's like the bit. So I can totally see where it was like, oh yeah, he was like instead of falling, he was supposed to latch off and then tumble, and then get up and kind of go like, oh, what was that? So I can totally see that. Yeah, he was
a little buffoonery.
Little buffoonery.
So this happened in the beginning of the show. So you would think. So in your head, do you think they would have stopped it?
Live show, 10,000 people.
10,000 people.
You've got to stop it. And
you would think, right?
They should have.
Vince McMahon
It's disgusting that he didn't.
McMahon got his body. There was still blood. His blood was on the mat.
Yeah.
And
you can see it smeared on the mat.
Yeah, you can see it smeared on the mat. The lights are still off. He then sends everybody in. They pick him up. They check him real quick. They put him on the gurney. Do not tell the audience what happened.
Yeah.
So the audience is unaware that he has died.
But they tell people at home.
Everybody at home knows what's going on.
But the people in the
arena
stadium don't
have
know.
no idea.
Yeah.
And then the gurney goes by, and they were telling wrestlers to get out there, that they were up.
Yeah.
So wrestlers are now having to like hold back tears,
Yeah.
and you can see them in their pre-interviews before
mourn.
they're about to go out,
Yeah.
where they're like, "Oh, my heart's going out to to the Hearts," and then he like kind of goes into his beat. And you can see them wanting to cry, and they're trying to hold it together, and their hearts just aren't in like wrestling, because they're like, I just watched my friend die.
Yeah.
And everybody's pretending like nothing is happening, and people in the stadium didn't find out until they went home.
Yeah.
And he was like, if it was me who hit the mat, I would want everybody to continue the show. The show must go on.
Vince said that, yeah.
He goes, if it was my son who hit the mat, if it was me, I say continue the show. That's what people are there for. People are there for the show.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Well, this was in like the 1990s.
Like in the
And he's
90s.
still
It was at a pay-per-view.
And
Yeah.
he's still.
Yeah, it was a pay-per-view, dude. People
happened
paid.
to manage the WWE.
So this is something
That's
interesting,
gross.
and this is why, like, I get it. I understand the argument that, like, this documentary doesn't do anything revolutionary, but I have a theory as to why it exists. Netflix has acquired WWE Raw, and they're going to be streaming all their pay-per-views, and every Monday Night Raw will be available on Netflix beginning January 6th or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a huge move for Netflix, because wrestling fans are dedicated people that will go watch wherever they can.
Yeah.
You guys don't really have like a hub, huh?
We
There's
used
no
to have like
hub.
a WWE network.
It
Yeah.
used to be Peacock as well.
Then it
Yeah.
was Peacock, because Peacock bought them, and then now it's going to be Netflix.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you have different eras of wrestling, and if you notice, this is why I brought up like all three pieces of news in that bit. They're trying. It seems planned. Like everything is being placed strategically.
Yeah.
Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental match or the Intercontinental title meant something, not only because, he's been in the league for 15, 16 years and has not won a singles title in that entire career. This is his first singles title. He's won multiple tag teams. His first singles title.
Because Uso's a goon.
Huh?
Uso has always been a goon.
Yeah, he's always been a bad guy.
He's always been
Yeah.
like a putty.
Well, yeah, in a way. Then you have Big E, who was a part of New Day, and he was in the era of the New Day when they were the tag team group, like the undisputed people. I think they held the most titles at one point, or they've held the title multiple different times, more than any other tag team.
The only one that hasn't won a singles title in New Day is Xavier Woods.
Yes.
Big E became WWE champion, and then Kofi Kingston also became WWE champion as well too.
Yeah.
At some point in their careers.
Big E hurt his back. He's been wanting to be brought back into the ring, but he's not been able to.
Yeah.
These scans prove it. Now, putting this documentary on Netflix, it's kind of like cleaning the slate for WWE in this new era, because Paul Levesque, Triple H, took over the company as CCO 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and then now he's full-fledged integrated into creative control.
He is top dog
Yeah.
of WWE, but
He's-
most people don't know that.
Yeah.
He's basically the new McMahon.
Yes, but people don't know this. They still associate WWE with Vince McMahon. If
Yeah.
you are not a wrestling fan, you still think that McMahon's own WWE, and you still that this is their company. But that's no longer the case.
Yeah.
After-
Shane won't touch it. And
Technically his daughter, because his daughter is she's still on payroll.
She's still the McMahon because
Yeah.
she's still Stephanie McMahon, but
and
that's more of a title
married,
name.
but
Yeah.
she's married to Triple H.
Yeah, exactly.
She's married to him.
So to me, the way I see it is having this documentary out there, it's kind of showing what most people already know, but
Yeah.
for people that don't know,
Yeah.
this is their introduction to WWE.
Because the biggest thing that's coming out of the documentary that I've seen every single page or on social media is the Stephanie McMahon one, where one of the storylines that Stephanie McMahon was brought up and she turned down was that, and this was her father pitching this, Vince, and saying that in the storyline Stephanie gets pregnant, and then it's insinuated that, now mind you, Vince McMahon keeps saying it's my character that I'm the father of
He
this
impregnated
baby.
his own.
Yeah, he impregnated his own daughter, and she immediately said, "No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that." And
The
then,
boardroom did
yeah.
not agree. He was the only one that laughed at the whole bit.
yeah, and again,
That's a weird bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's really weird, dude. Like, why would I get it? You want to
Be edgy?
You want to be edgy and sell tickets and stuff like that, but it's like there's a line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my only problem with it is, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of topics that they have that they barely scratch the surface of.
And
Oh
that-
yes, yeah.
They don't. There is no further. Oh, we're gonna go deeper.
You know what really annoyed me was that whenever other wrestlers that don't really associate themselves with Vince McMahon anymore, they would confirm all the shady stuff he would do.
Yeah.
But then they would come back to Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan would still protect the dude. He's like, "Well, I don't recall Vince saying that," because there was a point where there was a news reporter lurking around the stadium talking to the talent and saying how wrestling's fake and
Oh, that's
stuff
the
like
first
that.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, and then one of the wrestlers like, "Oh yeah, I remember Vince saying, oh yeah, someone should really take care of that guy." And he looked in the locker room and then he walked out, and then he would go like, "Yeah," and then one of the wrestlers slapped the crap out of him, and then Hulk Hogan was like, "I don't remember him saying that. I
think
can't
it was
recall."
like a love tap or something.
Yeah,
like
it's like, and plus, I don't think he hit him that hard. I'm like, Hulk, what are you doing? Like, why are you
in
still
that same-
protecting him?
In that same bit,
Yeah.
Don't
there
bite
was
the hand that feeds.
they were talking
But he
about
doesn't
how
feed
like
you anymore.
they were
No.
trying
Yeah,
to promote
okay.
Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, the first WrestleMania
Yeah.
event, and they go on a talk show.
Oh yeah.
And I forget what talk show it was, but the host
Yeah.
looks at Hulk and says, like, people keep saying that wrestling is fake, so I don't really buy that these moves are real. You think you can do one of these wrestling moves on me?
Yeah.
Immediately, Andy, because I'm watching this
Yeah.
with her, she goes just like, and I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
honestly, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand. Like, if you come up to me and you say, like, this is stupid, wrestling
Yeah.
is fake, obviously, dude, we all know the predetermined winners. We know the outcome. We know the story, but the moves are real.
Yeah.
Like, this is real.
The act is real.
So there's a scene, Hulk Hogan grabs the host, picks him up, and
Yeah.
you can see his neck go full 90 degrees.
So
Oh.
mind you,
And he's-
it's like this the whole time. He's picking him up. He's picking him up, and then like you just see him just go limp.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
Hulk,
immediately.
I don't know why Hulk Hogan just let go and didn't catch the guy, because he just let go and he just went. Gah!
Ragdoll.
And he hit his back of his head. He gets up. You see the blood pouring down in the back of his head.
Yeah.
And he's very concussed. He's all like, "Oh yeah, we'll be right back after this this break."
It's like,
stuff. I'm like,
sucks. They settled, both the
Yeah.
reporter and
Yeah.
him settled the lawsuit, so nothing went further.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think that it was justifiably settled was because the host, for example, asked for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that, was deserved.
It's on camera. He literally
asked
told
for
him
it,
to do
so
it.
it's like-
He consented.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
The worst thing is that I've actually been in a situation like that, and it's really funny. A friend,
Because it was done to you, or because you were doing it to someone.
no, so
Or you
I
gave
Because
was,
I've had
I was-
it done
I was
to
at-
me, and
I was
I
at-
don't think it was funny.
No.
No, so I was at a party, and then one of the guys is a black belt in, I think it was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then one of our buddies is like, I don't get it. What's the big deal? Like, why do people tap out? And then he goes, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Yeah, like, why would you tap out if you're an armbar? Like, I don't get it. Like, you're just pulling the arm and your legs are over his head. Like,
Oh, naive
it
child.
would like that wouldn't hurt that much." And then he was like, "Well, I can do it to you right now. Like, you want me to do it to you?" And he goes, "Yeah, man. Can you do it to me?" And he goes, "Yeah, absolutely." And then he just immediately gets into position. He puts his arm out, and he goes, "All right, you ready?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, tap out. Tap as soon as I go. If you want me to let go." And he goes, "Because I won't stop until you tap." And then he goes, "All right, cool." And then immediately pulls his arm, and he just goes, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." And he just immediately is like, "Let go, let go, let go, let go." And he go, and then we're like, "Tap, tap, tap." And he finally taps him, and then he lets go, and he's like, his arm is just killing him the whole night. And he goes, "Oh my God, that hurts so much." And he goes, "Yeah, what do you?" He goes,
Yeah, you're pulling on a
you're pulling on a
joint.
ligament.
Yeah.
Like you're pulling on ligaments and joints, and you're just pulling it out of the socket.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would hurt.
Yeah. There's some pain in there. Like,
I've had that move that was done on the host done to
Yeah.
me before because the water polo people I used to play with in high school were a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
And I had it done to me. That's why I'm saying it's not funny. Because they did it to me thinking that it was like funny to them.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now the feeling you get when you're not ready for it. Picture a bendy straw and then shutting it completely.
Yeah.
Like it's an instant.
Yeah.
Like no air. Yeah, exactly. Instant lack of air, and you just feel like a disconnection of your body from your head, and it's so weird.
You weren't trained to.
I mean, these guys
to do that?
were people that were just being dicks.
He's in high school.
Yeah.
Who would know how to do that in high
I
school?
was in high school and knew to do
No,
that.
I mean, I was also a passive kid that didn't want any problems, but they just decided to pick on me.
You went to an all-boys school, too.
Huh?
You went to an all-boys school,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So,
Net taps were open season.
No.
all right, let's keep going, then. This one's pretty interesting because I know you guys had referenced it earlier. Rumors keep circulating about the potential cast members for the Lantern series. Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, Aaron Peary, thank you, as Stephen James.
No, so it's Stephen James and
And
Aaron.
Stephen James
Yes.
as top choices to play Jon Stewart. But was something released or confirmed already?
So who was it that was confirmed to be
The-
Hal
from,
Jordan?
from Friday
Kyle,
Night Lights.
Friday Night, the coach from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, but who was that? Josh Brolin?
No,
No,
that's
Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin.
He declined.
He declined.
Yeah, that's why.
But I did see that though. Apparently, there was like 5 other actors and Josh Brolin. They all declined. Do you know why?
No way.
Ryan Reynolds. The Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
Oh, that scared them?
That scared them. They were like, "I'm not doing it because I saw what you guys did to Green Lantern last
Whoa.
time."
That's kind of weird, though.
And they were like, "No, it's like a different. It's a different take."
Do they
Like,
not
this
give him
isn't-
the script?
I'm assuming they.
this is Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, I know who
Yeah.
he is. What else was he in recently?
Oh,
He's been in a couple things.
yeah.
He was
hold on.
in something recently because I'm like, oh, I've seen him before. I knew he was a coach in Friday Night Lights, but
Yeah.
something much more recent than that.
But Kyle Chandler, 100% I get.
He was in Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Godzilla King of Monsters. He played Billy Bobby Brown's dad.
Thank you.
There it
You're
is.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kyle Chandler, he's gonna be a great Hal Jordan. He has that Hal Jordan-y look. I'm really hoping they give him the domino mask and everything else.
because James Gunn is looking for a more older Kyle.
Yeah.
Not Kyle Rayner. Hal Jordan.
Well, because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be him training Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be he's
Yeah.
been a Green Lantern.
Can
for
you
a
still?
while.
Do you think he would have the humor for it to be a Hal Jordan?
Well, Hal Jordan.
Because he's not
Hal
whippy.
Jordan's not whippy. That's Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner is more whippy.
Yeah, Hal Jordan will be a snarky.
That's what I'm
He's more
looking
of a-
for.
he's more
Yeah.
of a-
Guy Gardner is very much of a hole.
He's just a
But
douche.
yeah, he's just a douche.
That's Nathan Fillion's
And that's
character.
Nathan Fillion's
Yeah.
character, which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a plain it straight kind of like guy, I feel Kyle Chandler can do that, especially for Hal Jordan. It's
Yeah.
not that hard. It won't be that hard for him
Yeah.
to channel that and
Because
stuff.
I do like the storyline. I do like the storyline of the new Green Lantern movie that came out pretty recently, where it was Jon Stewart.
The animated.
Oh,
one?
Beware My Power.
Beware My Power.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was pretty good.
That's on Max. If you guys
Yeah.
want to check it out, it's really good.
It's really good. It's all about like Jon Stewart getting the ring, and then they're traveling to Oa, and then you find out that the Green Lanterns have been destroyed. I just
Spoiler.
Wow, thanks.
Isn't this based off a series that's been out for a while?
no, that one was just a. It was
This-
a
they're
standalone
just-
this is
movie.
new?
This is a new
It's a
movie that
standalone
they're
movie
just
that just
telling
came out.
Jon Stewart's origin at
Okay.
this point.
But
Okay,
they were
yeah.
doing a brand new origin for Jon Stewart, but this one is more of a Lantern Corps,
Yeah.
where it sounds like Hal Jordan has been in space.
Yeah.
He has been the world's greatest the universe's greatest Green Lantern, and he's already passed the mantle down a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because Hal Jordan, you also have Guy Gardner. Now you're gonna get Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart's supposed to be the rookie.
It's interesting
Yeah.
to see the switch because wasn't Jon Stewart always the older one in previous iterations?
No.
Or was he the younger one?
in the Justice League show, he
Yeah.
was already like a middle-aged man. Yes.
But then they never used Hal Jordan.
They
in that
never
one, right?
used Hal Jordan.
And then
They
they
wanted to kind of like diverse the show a bit.
Gotcha.
So they created John Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they gave John and everything else, but I mean, you have Kyle Rayner because I think there's like what 6 human.
Yes.
There's like 6 human.
Yes, you have
Green Lanterns.
Jennifer Drew or Jessica Drew.
Jessica Drew,
And
Hal
then
Jordan,
Simon Bass,
Bass,
which is supposed to be he's supposed to be in Lanterns as well
yeah,
too.
John Stewart,
Yeah, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner. Yeah, there's like five different humans.
There are
seven?
several
There's-
human Green Lanterns
Yeah.
in the DC universe.
Okay.
Alan Scott,
Oh,
Jessica Cruz,
Golden Age. That's right.
Well,
Hal
Alan Scott
Jordan.
he's technically a Green Lantern. He's technically a Green Lantern,
But he's not a
he's
Green
not
Lantern
Corps member.
Yeah,
Because he finds a Green Lantern and then he then uses
it's
that.
more magic.
It's more magic than it is
Yeah,
anything else.
Let's see. We have Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, and Simon Baz.
They
Yeah.
need to make sure this Lantern series works
I
Yeah.
hope so.
because
I think it will. I
Yeah.
think it will. I have no doubt. I don't know why when people think now Green Lantern movie or show, they automatically go back to Ryan Reynolds, and I'm like, okay, well,
I feel like if you know what I
it
think
has
would be
been some
really,
time to make it better.
You know what? In all fairness, I think if they were to do something kind of like a Justified, or even like a Justified, Justified, or even like a True Detective
Oh, like
with
lanterns.
with lanterns,
That'd
and
be cool.
and that would be really sick.
Yeah.
That, like if just make them universal cops.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Just
That's what they are.
make it a cop show that takes
Well,
place in the universe.
They kind of
That's it.
did that in the like second act of Green Lantern First Flight with Hal Jordan and Sinestro.
Yeah.
When they're out doing patrolling and stuff like that, they're doing investigation. They do treat it like it's a
cop show.
it's a cop show. That's a thing. So
And I feel like that's how you do a Green Lantern.
it's
show.
intergalactic cops.
I mean, the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern was written and produced in a different time period
Yeah.
when superhero movies weren't taken as seriously.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, we were at the like the beta
Weird,
stages.
awkward. Yeah.
Do you know who else is inside the Green Lantern movie? Which I did not remember until recently.
The villain.
Taika Waititi.
Oh, I
Oh.
thought you to say Blake Lively. I
That's
was like,
what.
Huh?
Oh, yeah,
his
he
best friend.
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets killed.
It's his best friend in the movie. That's Taika.
That's
he
so
dies?
weird because he's not credited. Or every
Wait, he
time I look up
dies?
Taika
Yeah,
Waititi,
I thought Taika gets like disintegrated by the villain.
Does he?
I don't think so.
I thought he just gets wounded.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's just wounded by the villain.
maybe I wanted
Oh,
him
okay.
to die.
But
Yeah.
maybe you just wanted him to die. Yeah, that's Taika Waititi. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Why is Taika here?
hmm
But
I was kind of
So-
disappointed with how they did Parallax too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all fairness, they also did that with Dormammu. It's the same thing.
Oh my god, yes.
It's the same thing.
Dormammu, I came to bargain.
It's literally the same thing.
Leave me be, human.
Yeah, it's not any different.
Yeah.
What's the next thing?
So we got two more
I'll do it by-
dockets,
I'll
and we're
do it
gonna
by
blow
myself.
through. We're gonna blow through these two dockets.
The sodas are getting to me. That's why.
This is an interesting one.
You go and I'll talk to Sean about it.
Ubisoft announces that it'll be delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows into 2024 with the plans of refunding pre-orders for free DLC and the people who will continue to pre-order this game at
Good.
the later date.
Good.
This game comes. This news comes after Sony's State of Play presentation announced the next gen in the Ghost series called Ghost of Yotai,
Mhm.
which they actually released it at a pretty good time. Which is not a direct sequel to the Ghost of Tsushima game. This is actually going to be around 300
300
years
after.
in the future. So new story, new character. I mean, I'm excited. I already hear that there's
You know
hype
what?
for this.
Have you seen any footage from Ghost of
Yeah.
Yotai?
yeah,
love-
dual wielding guns. You got chain scythes. You got guns. You got muskets.
So
Let's
apparently, they opened up the weapons, but while still keeping the same dynamic where it has like different stances.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna do that. They have guns now. They have muskets. They have still the bow and
It,
arrow.
it looks great.
It looks
It
great.
looks great.
My
You,
thing-
how do you
you-
pronounce that? Ghost of you would
Yotai.
Yotai.
yeah, because it's a mountain.
So I was talking.
Imitation of Mount Fuji, I think, is the
'Cause
rough
it's
translation.
It's Yotai Mountain, and it's
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be because it looks like Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
So I was talking to this with another group of friends, where I think the reason why the Ghost series works because the first thing I saw article wise, speaking about Ghost of Yotai,
Yotai.
Yotai.
excuse me, is why is this not connected to Tsushima? And I'm like, the first thing I think of, I'm like, that's kind of a good thing because it allows you to build an anthology.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
what Assassin's Creed has done in games of that nature.
What they
used to do.
And that's what pisses me off because Assassin's Creed for, I think up until, I want to say...
After Ezio.
I think, and anthologically, 1 and 2 were connected, but not really.
Yeah,
they were connected, but that wasn't the main focus. It wasn't until
the third one.
After the third one that it went like...
No. Because in 1 you have Altair. 2 you have Ezio, and he's trying to find the Apple of Eden. So he's in the second one he's building his brotherhood. Third one he then is trying to follow Altair's
Those are sequels
path.
to that. But what I'm talking about is because Ghost of Yotai and Ghost of Tsushima are connected because it's the same universe.
Yes, 300 years.
And it's on the same island.
Same island, same everything, but it's still an anthological story. The point I'm trying to get to is that Altair, you can play Assassin's Creed 2 without having to play
any other of them.
1.
Yeah.
And you could have done the same thing with 3 and not have to really play 2 and 1. 4 started to get a little bit iffy because you didn't really understand the point of this character. What was his name again? The pirate?
You mean
Jack?
Kenway.
Yeah.
It was Jack Kenway.
Yeah. It started talking about how they were related to
Altair in a distant.
Yeah, and it's like, so wait, now I have to play 1, 2. It didn't become.
It's like following the Kingdom Hearts storyline. It just all gets gobbledygook later on.
The weird thing is that you can tell that Assassin's Creed had a story. At first, from Ezio storyline, Altair storyline, and even when you went to Connor, there was a through line of you, and then also with the live Desmond
Miles.
You had Desmond Miles' character, and you also have like the other 3 main protagonists.
That's if you cared to even follow about.
But the thing is that because what people thought was going to happen is eventually Desmond was going to become a modern day assassin.
Yes.
And you were then going to do like modern day stuff because in the third one that's what they started introducing. They started introducing guns. They started doing everything else, and then Desmond is fighting like Connor. He's fighting like Altair. He's fighting like the previous people. By the time you get to the end of 3, everybody was like, all right, cool. I guess Assassin's Creed is over because Desmond Miles is dead. And then they didn't want to end it. They were like,
they milked it dry.
Yeah, and they milked it until there was nothing left.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing and that's the thing that Ghost of Yotai is kind of doing well, where we have a strong property. It's going to do well. Ghost of Tsushima is a great topic. We don't necessarily know where to go with his storyline.
Yeah.
We can always add that later with that storyline or anything like that. Why don't we follow a new protagonist 300 years later and we can mention things that have happened to the former protagonist?
Quickly referenced in like notes or stories, kind of like what they do with like Bloodborne.
And that's
Dark Souls.
But they did the same thing with Altair with Ezio. When Ezio was going around, like he was reading just stories or diary logs of Altair and everything else.
You get that in Revelations at the end.
Yeah, you get
as well.
You get a lot of stuff. But I think that Ghost of Yotai does a really great job, whereas Shadow and the Assassin's Creed series in general, Ubisoft in general,
where it's at.
The Ubisoft in general is a mess. They do not know how to make a video game anymore.
Shadows to me, I feel was like a property that came out too late. They could have done this years ago because people were asking for it. Because here's the thing. I like 1, I like 2, and the other sequels that came with Ezio's storyline. 3 was great. As much as people hated it, I loved it.
It's very glitchy. It's very
glitchy. Didn't care for 4. I liked Origin. I liked the story. If you ignored everything about the Templars in present times and just studied on the creation of the assassins and how I forget his name, basically was the first one, the protagonist in Origins in ancient Egypt.
Asamil, something like that. Yeah.
That super great, loved it. Odyssey.
The problem with,
you didn't like it?
I like the world. I like Greece.
The thing is that the problem is that Ubisoft delaying and then saying that we need to like figure things out, especially when there's a huge call for the board of directors to step down. That's a huge thing, especially being that when you look at Ubisoft games, they are devolving. They are not evolving with the times. They are devolving.
They're not understanding the pace or the direction video games.
They're
No,
not
no,
understanding
that's
the
not it.
clientele
No,
period
but-
because they're just releasing these blocks.
Did you
of
mention
people
that it got pushed
buying
back?
passes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is what I'm talking about is that if you were to look at, let's just say, Assassin's Creed Syndicate or even Assassin's Creed 2. Let's say you were to talk about Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 2 came out in 2008, 2009. If you then fast forward and you go to Outlaw, there are things that you can do in Assassin's Creed 2 that you can't do in Outlaw. You can't swim. As soon as you interact with AI,
It's bad because I've seen the video you're talking about,
Yeah.
and it's crazy that you like the smallest thing of water and you're just dead.
It just immediately either kills you or it teleports you out, just like an original Assassin's Creed or an N64 game, because they didn't know how to animate swimming.
Yeah, that's how you know they didn't try. If there's no swimming animation for a game in this day.
Yeah, you walk in front of what was it? If you walk in front of like speeders in Outlaw, and then you just stare at the people.
Outlaw, Star Wars. I was
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Because
It's a Ubisoft property.
Because this isn't just a Shadows problem. This is a Ubisoft.
You can't swim in
problem.
Outlaws?
No.
Swim. Not only that, but if you stop speeders and then you watch the NPCs, they glitch. They'll sharp cut and they'll
NPCs
malfunction.
are like within enemies are within enemies, so you see one model of the enemy, and then when it begins to walk, you see 10 of them spread out in different directions. And it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, not only that, but also the enemies are not aware.
No.
Like there's literally
The AI is terrible
The
for
AI
the
is
game.
terrible where you see stormtroopers walking around and then you just see the main character jump from the grass, showing herself, and they can see her and they're just like, where is she? I don't know. The games are devolving, and the problem is because Ubisoft thinks that their marketplace are morons. They will buy anything I give them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is that they haven't given their developers any time to develop the game, because these games come out in such short matters. There are such hard deadlines to these games where Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2 was almost 3 years.
So what's so funny to me is I found myself playing older games now,
Same.
or waiting for games to be on sale. I haven't had the need to buy a game. I mean, the only ones that I bought recently was the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8. And then I bought Kingdom Hearts 3 for like $6.
But the problem is that Ubisoft had done so bad that even their stock is plummeting.
Yeah, because they're not understanding.
I don't want this company around anymore, to be
Why
honest.
am I going to pay $60 for a game I'm not going to enjoy?
But the
anymore?
problem is that Ubisoft doesn't sell their games for $60 anymore. They're
sell
$79 to $80.
Quadruple A games. When we got the Sea of Thieves or whatever, the one that came out this year, the one that had a massive flop, that was them too. They have been taking L
What was
after
it, Skull
L
and
this
Bones?
Skull and
entire
Bones.
year.
Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
No game that they have put out this year has been good.
No.
And the thing is that it's really hard, because how is it that you are the you are kind of like the sneak masters. You have Prince of Persia, Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed. You have all these different games where it's like, oh yeah, like, sneaking and then assassinating people, or like, going through a room, like that's kind of like your bread and butter. You guys are really good at that. How is it that a studio saw what you did and then went, oh, we could definitely do that better? And that's what they did, and that's what Ghost of Tsushima is. When I played Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, I remember my brother telling me, he was like, "What do you think of Ghost of Tsushima?" And I was like, "It's the Assassin's Creed game that we should have gotten for years."
Yeah.
That is what this game is. They literally went, "What's a better way of making an Assassin's Creed game?"
Don't put your money on Assassin's Creed Shadows, though. At this point, don't.
But it's the same thing also with with Wukong. Wukong still is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a AAA title.
It's not Game of the Year worthy.
Yeah, but people were talking about it as Game of the Year worthy, and that's the problem with video games right now. Is that a lot of AAA titles, and I know we've talked about this before, are not to the point where they deserve my money at $60 to $70, because you shouldn't allow me to go into a spot and I hit a wall like an N64 game. Like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft and everything else, it is a deeper problem. And I know we've talked about just the deep problems in the gaming industry. I hope either Ubisoft reformats.
It's not.
they figure it out.
I doubt that it sounds so impossible for a company of that magnitude with so many international branches to reformat it themselves in a, let's say, 6 months, a year.
No, they would have to be. They would have to not make anything for 5 years.
Yeah, seriously.
To like properly reformat themselves and come back with something. Because I was really looking forward to Prince of Persia. I love the Prince of Persia games. They are so much fun. Yeah. But the last one, not good. It's side scroller.
No. Last bit of news. This is a really quick one, and I actually have the gamer tag for you.
What's the timestamp?
1:15.
Okay.
Henry Cavill has started playing Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, and he says he's loving it. I know his gamer tag, and it's Nope. Nope. That is his gamer tag.
How do you know?
He's playing on PC. I know because I know. I have voices in the warp, buddy. Okay.
How do you? Okay. What?
If you know Warhammer, there are people who cover this on YouTube solely.
So they found him.
Yeah, they found him.
So it's NOP.
It's Nope.
It's NOPE.
NOPE. Nope.
That's funny.
His gamer tag is Nope.
Because he took a picture of it and then he blacked it out and then he wrote Nope.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what he wrote. Because it's not. That's why I was
People
like,
were showing the screen cap. That's why I'm like, oh, it's Nope.
No. He screen capped it and then he blocked out his gamer tag and then he wrote Nope. NOPE. And that's what. Okay.
If
you look at the screenshot and you zoom into it, it's a handwritten Nope. It looks like he had like a stylus.
It didn't. Oh, it didn't look like that in the.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a shame.
Sorry,
I guess
sir.
we're not gonna find him now. I was really
It's
excited.
A Nope for you, Sean.
Yeah.
But he's playing a tactician. He's playing a white armored, red helmeted tactician.
Probably
He could
Blood
change.
Angels. Probably Blood Angels.
He's playing.
He likes Blood Angels.
No, it's Custodes.
He plays.
Are you playing this game too?
There are no Custodes.
No, there's no Custodes in the game. So
No.
You're
it
playing
would be
Space
a
Marines too?
Yeah.
Second best is probably Blood Angels.
I don't know. I have two people in my life that do so much work in their life and still find this time to play video games. It's you and my friend Frank. I don't know how you guys do it.
He doesn't sleep. You.
What do you mean?
You don't sleep.
What do you mean?
You go to sleep at like 1.
How do you know? Wait, how do you know this?
Because we're up playing games, Nick. We're up.
You're like on the balcony. I see you, Nick.
I now know the window to his room.
I know you. Obviously, dude.
I'm gonna get a little fiber optics camera, feed it through the screen, and I'm gonna watch him.
God, dude.
Yeah, I know.
The window is like flashing lights.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's true. I don't sleep. Like I think
No.
I sleep like maybe like 4 or 5 hours a day.
All right.
And I'm fine.
Let's move
That wraps it up
on
for comic strips.
to our main topic, Saturday night. The movie that premieres 2 weeks or a week out from the time of this podcast releasing, but we went to an early screening, which were only in select theaters. It was the Grove, Century City, and there was another one in Los Angeles.
To be fair, I feel like we should be non-spoiler and just
Because it's so far in advance.
So far in advance. Like this movie is
So,
like
so let's just talk about the setup.
I feel like the setup
And that's it.
and everything and what we thought of the movie and not
I really
give
enjoyed
specifics.
it.
All right, that's the end of it.
That was
No, I'm going to start by
contender for favorite movie. No, really, it's almost my favorite.
Movie
It's
this
probably
year?
this year. It's a contender for me at least.
You know what? I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this.
I think Sean would really like it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you-
we were
if you come
talking
into
about it.
this
I'm
room-
excited.
If you come into this room and you watch this movie and you say, I don't get it, I swear to God, Sean, I can't take the slander
No, I
anymore.
feel like Noel will do that.
What
Because
makes
he
you think that I
likes to
wouldn't
just-
get the
I
movie?
totally
Yeah.
forgot because we bumped into Noel yesterday. I didn't fight with him.
Wait, how did you...
Oh yeah, about the
didn't fight
crow.
Crow?
Oh yeah.
I
Wait,
didn't
when
fight
did you
him
bump
over
into...
the-
Oh, yesterday before we left.
Before you-
Before,
yeah.
before we left, Noel was passing by, and then like Noel was like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And then I'm like, "Hey," man. And then we started talking, and then this weird dude walked up to us, and he was like, "You guys got money?"
I'm like, no.
And then we were like, "No." And then he was making,
he looked at me and Nick, and he
he's like,
goes
"You
like,
guys brothers?
no.
You guys related?" And I'm like,
Like,
no,
no.
we're just fat and hairy,
Yeah,
dude.
just fat and hairy and glasses.
Yeah, and then
He's
Noel
like-
was like, "This is awkward."
Yeah.
And then he walked away.
And I told the guy, he goes like, you guys look a lot. I'm like, yeah, and 5 other guys in LA look exactly like us. I go,
Yeah, and then Noel just walked away.
Yeah.
He was like, "Well, that guy made it awkward." He just walked
Just
away.
left. I'm just going to say this about Saturday night.
Yeah.
As much as people feel like Saturday Night Live is a dead show and, you know, the glory days are done and they're numbered. People
I
forget-
wouldn't say that, but
I wouldn't say it either, but I will say that Saturday Night Live is, for me at least, a very influential show.
Yeah.
It's the show that when I was in middle school and high school, I watched every Saturday, paid attention production-wise, got really into the writing aspect, like looked up as much as I can, was very involved in the cast. I fell in love with 30 Rock.
Why are you laughing?
Because I just imagine 5-year-old Bryan just staring at watching Saturday Night Live with like a pen and paper, and then just going like, the joke didn't land. just writing it down and being like, oh, no, not good.
You're not wrong.
It should be
Adam
centered
Sandler-
better.
Yeah, you know what, Adam Sandler, you could do better.
You're not wrong. That was me in like middle school. I was like very like analytical about Saturday Night Live, but it's an influential show. That's where you get a lot of the stars that are very popular now. And to see a movie based off the first night of Saturday Night Live in its
The
production
90 minutes before it aired.
was great.
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything, the movie is about literally the first night before the first episode of Saturday Night Live.
It was even teeter-tottered to possibly not be aired as well too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the interesting.
Yeah.
I really like this because I do feel, because you know what it gave me? It gave me Birdman vibes.
Okay.
And it, like, not in the existential like crisis of it, but the everything that's all the chaos that's happening behind the scenes that no one's seeing. And this happens in every show. It happens in Broadway, it happens in TV, it happens in movies, anything. Of, you know, there's just craziness that happens behind the show.
Like Babylon.
Like Babylon, you know, all these other things that are going on, and then once the cameras turn on, everything just falls into place.
Yeah.
And
So,
everything works.
And it's interesting because it's chaotic in the first like hour 15, and in the last 15 minutes before the show's supposed to air, everyone just clicks and wants to get the show done.
I was telling Sean before you guys came. I think what makes me like about Saturday Night is that it's a coming of age young adult kind of film. In a way, where because it's Lauren realizing what he needs to do to push himself to move forward, that he knows he has something here. He knows this is it, but he doesn't have anyone's back. I mean, no one has his back. No one has his back. No one has faith in him. And so he has to prove to everyone why this is going to work.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because you get to see that throughout the whole movie. And I was telling Sean again too that those scenes where Lauren is standing there and just drifting, just dealing with the dilemma that's in front of him, is very much like The Bear. How Carmi,
that's true,
just looks at the problem ahead and just dwells in it in his head. And I like that because it happens.
Yeah.
It happens to me. It happens to you. It's happened to you before, where it's just we're trying to figure out what to do, but we're just stuck.
So you brought this up, and I was mentioning to Nick, because after the movie aired, we went to the restroom, and I'm like, dude, this movie gave me PTSD. He's like, why? It's like, it's the art festival. Like, legitimately, like, the whole setup up until that event was basically like that. But what I feel like the movie does so well is that it...
Just to be clear, I was not like that at the art festival.
Oh, I was.
You were panicking. I was like, we're fine.
No, I was like, that's the thing, is that this movie does a really good job at pacing itself and making you feel a part of Lorne Michaels' journey.
Yeah.
Where every time he's not panicking, the situation's not bad, but the moment that he starts to panic because he's talking to Carson on the phone,
you feel the anxiety,
the tension,
you feel the tension,
his anxiety.
And I think that's why I like this movie so much, that it takes me, and I'm standing there next to Lorne Michaels.
Yeah.
And it does a great job of making me feel that way. You know, the chaotic, even the humor of it as well too. Even when scenes when everyone's just having a good time as well too, you feel it. It's in a very emotional movie.
The success at the end.
Yeah, it's so good. It was so great.
Have you seen the documentary on Mad? Like that one's really, really good because it talks about the connection between Mad, like the Mad magazine, to Lorne Michaels and to Saturday Night Live, because Mad magazine for the longest time was trying to push a sketch comedy show, and they couldn't find a network to do it. And then Lorne heard about it, and and then pitched it to NBC.
Capitalized it.
And then he had more like stakes and everything else because Chevy Chase and everybody else were actually working at Mad Magazine originally. And then when when Lauren got to NBC, he then went to Mad and then took all their talent and then took them to and then took them over to Saturday Night Live.
Well, another thing, not only that the movie was great, but the casting was great as well too.
Oh yeah,
everyone. I forgot that the actor that plays Chevy Chase also plays the Riddler on Gotham.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
yeah.
That epiphany you had.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was
yeah.
watching a video this morning of the cast, and he didn't have his like Chevy Chase look or outfit or hair done, and I was like, that's the freaking Riddler from Gotham. I was like, he played Chevy? That's great.
He looked great. He looks great.
He
looks
that was a
handsome.
spot on kind of.
That was a
just
spot on
casting.
Chevy. I also the guy who played Belushi.
Oh, yes.
He did a great Belushi impression.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? Honestly, it wasn't even an impression. It was just
no. It felt like an embodiment.
yeah,
That's the
like
thing.
so, like almost as if they were embodying. I was telling Rene on the drive home, is because it's interesting to hear Rita Radner talking to Belushi about, I can see our future and I can see us being happy with, kids and groceries and like the simple life and everything else and us getting old and everything else. And then I was talking to Rene and I go, they both die within 5 years of drug overdoses. Like that's a crazy statement.
But that's the other thing I was talking to Rene about earlier, is that this movie doesn't hide the era it's in. Like the amount of drug usage in this movie is kind of like just parallel to what is being said and what has been told about the industry in that time. Cocaine's all over the place. Everyone's smoking weed.
Yeah. This is all in the studio.
Yeah, and this is all in a professional studio.
Yeah.
The amount of dude, the sexual harassment that you see constantly all over the place.
And then also Dylan O'Brien playing Dan Aykroyd was really good.
Yeah.
Later on,
I thought it was really funny too, because you can see, what was it when they were talking about Chevy? I can actually understand when Pete Davidson goes, that's a wild thing to say to a female, and I've heard Chevy Chase speak to a female intern, and just see kind of what was going on back then, of just like the things people were kind of allowed to say, do, and you were like, ugh. Especially thinking of Chevy Chase coming back to a Saturday Night Live and feeling like it's the old days again, and he can kind of do whatever it is he wants, and him having that power to just push people around and kind of go like, well, I'm Chevy Chase, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also it's interesting too, because I can 100% see why Bill Murray punched him out.
Oh yeah. Well, I also love that they showcased Chevy and John just not getting along at all. Every time they're in the room together, they just don't like each other. That's the thing.
The insults were just phenomenal,
oh my god, the comebacks!
Oh, I love it.
They were beautiful. Oh my god, so good. The dialogue was just beautifully written as well too.
My favorite line is when the script advisor or the script reviser is talking to the main writer, I forget his name, of SNL, and he
the guy with the glasses.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
Just go on. He's like, let me propose a script to you, and basically talks about
Jesus,
the
Bible,
yeah,
and it's done so well.
He pitches her the Bible,
because she's a full-on Christian.
That's right.
And he's like, stop me if you've heard this before.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she goes, how dare you? And he goes, you've heard this story before. and then she goes like, how could you? And he goes, come on, say my name. It's the devil.
Is Andy Kaufman in it at any point?
Andy Kaufman is in like
Andy Kaufman.
I love Andy Kaufman because the movie starts with Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Showing up, and then Andy Kaufman, because Andy Kaufman's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He just keeps disappearing.
Yes.
Like, because Lauren is walking him through the very beginning.
The actor they got is Zach from Sky High, the glowing one.
Oh yeah.
He plays both Andy Kaufman and Jim Henson.
See, I didn't know that until Rene mentioned it. I was just like, that's
he does a really good Jim too. But it's so interesting because Andy Kaufman is known to being weird. Like, he's just a weird person. Because even Dave Chappelle said that he goes, when Jim Carrey did an Andy Kaufman movie in the mid 2000s, and then that was the first time that Dave Chappelle ever met Jim Carrey.
Nicholas Braun.
And he goes, oh yeah, I didn't meet Jim Carrey. I met Andy Kaufman. Like, that's who I met.
Yeah.
Because Andy Kaufman is just a weirdo. And the fact that this movie encapsulated his weirdness, because Lauren is like walking him through and he goes, hey, can you help Andy find the restroom?
Yeah.
And then Andy just kind of disappears.
Yeah,
And then you're kind
he's
of
gone.
Yeah. And then like they take him to the restroom, and then Lauren is dealing with the world around him. And then periodically throughout the movie, Andy just shows up in random places.
Yeah.
And then they're like they're in an elevator and they're just going like up, and then out of nowhere it stops.
Yeah, and they're like,
then,
why did it stop?
And then and then it raises up. Andy Kaufman's just standing
He's
there
just
with a
standing
record
there,
player in his hand, and they're like, oh, and he's like, hello.
Hi.
And they're like, Andy, you can't just be walking around. And he's like, I got lost.
I got lost. trying to find the bathroom.
I was trying to find the bathroom. Like the entire movie, he's just looking for the bathroom. It's so great.
Good. It's so
Me,
good.
my favorite part of this whole movie is that it has a theme, which is, what is Saturday Night Live? And he gets asked this question multiple times throughout the movie.
What is it?
What is it? And every single time he has a different response.
Yeah.
And it just depends on which person is asking him this question. Like at one point, I think it's his brother who asks him, the exec that gives him the job to be able to perform this, and he goes like, "You already know what it is," and then walks away.
If you don't know what it is, then I can't tell you what it is.
Exactly, and then just walks
And
away.
I always find like that's a cop out.
Yeah.
It's always a cop out answer of like, if you just don't know,
Then you don't know. Yeah.
He does, but it does do a really great job. I love Willem Dafoe in this movie.
Oh, he's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Willem Dafoe has been killing it in the last past couple of months.
Oh man, these movies he's been doing.
Yeah, he's been doing some great movies. J.K. Simmons is in the movie.
I didn't realize that was J.K. Simmons.
You didn't
until-
realize
Yeah.
it? J.K. Simmons also, he plays a monster.
Yeah. Let's not spoil anything more because there's a good scene in there
There
where
is.
that's very explicit.
There's such a
Yeah.
good scene, but J.K. Simmons plays a very interesting character. There's so much that goes on because you can also feel the dread of the studio in this movie, where you can feel the pressure Lauren is under, because it feels like every single time that there's like something goes right, the guys from the studio show up.
Yeah.
Or every single time that there's like, oh, like everything is good, and then as soon as there's a fault or there's a problem, that's when the guys from the studio show up. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever you're working you're working and everything's going fine, and as soon as you make a mistake, that's when your manager shows up. And you're like, oh my God, dude. You showed up right now.
The actor that played John Belushi was a Broadway actor. This was his first break.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
I hope he gets more work.
Yeah, no,
He
it's
did a
good.
great job.
Definitely. Yeah,
He did a great
he
job.
was in the SpongeBob play.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Cool.
that was his biggest role. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
right.
so it must have been like they were casting New York actors and stuff like that.
Which
I
was
can see
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Locals.
Yeah.
Final thoughts before we wrap this up. I enjoyed it. I can see where people might not be able to enjoy this movie. There's a particular group of people that will really love this movie, and I think it's going for those people that really enjoy Saturday Night Live and want to experience something. Story of behind the scenes.
This is a movie. So funny. When we went to go see the movie, there was the row in front of us. The girl that came up was talking to her friends. She was like, "Oh my God, the sound is so good. They worked on the sound," and I immediately got mad. I was like, "Don't tell me what to do. You know, you guys don't like the sound." And then I watched the movie. I'm like, "God damn it, the sound was good."
The sound,
like,
yeah, it's
the
actually
sound was
good.
actually was good. So
Yeah.
kudos to you guys that did the sound. And
Wait, the
stuff
people
like
in the
that.
front of us did the sound?
Yeah, they did the
It's just-
sound.
I
Yeah.
didn't understand what they were saying because they were the very preppy, like speak really fast and not super loud. So
I
I'm
was
like,
playing-
I
I was-
don't know what you guys are saying.
I was playing Marvel Snap at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, so the girl just comes up to her row. She goes, "Oh my God, how are you guys doing?" Blah, blah, blah. She goes, "Oh my God, I can't wait to hear this movie. They worked on the sound, so you guys, really listen to it." And I'm like, "F you." I'm like, automatically telling me that I have to. I just want to watch the movie. Just let me watch the movie. Don't tell me what I have to look out for.
Which I thought was interesting that this movie that there is screenings right now.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
specific. But I did notice that it's only in Brea and it's in the Grove.
In LA.
Yeah.
It's only in LA where it's getting these screenings.
I
which
wonder
is
if it's
fine.
only available for A-list members.
Probably.
I don't know.
No,
Could you have bought tickets? Can you
I
buy
bought
tickets
Andy's
right now?
ticket.
Oh.
She's not an
doesn't have-
A-list.
no,
She's not an
an
A-list
A-list,
member.
no.
No, okay.
But I love this movie. I really recommend it.
Yeah.
I told Andy this. I said, like, seeing everything that Lauren Michaels did for the first episode of Saturday Night Live, granted, This was a completely different time period. This was what 30 years ago.
Yeah,
More than 30?
1975.
Yeah, 30 years ago. I still want to do that. I still want to run a production. As chaotic as it is, it like only makes me more excited to do something like that.
Also, just letting you know that's 50 years ago.
That was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely different now, and hopefully a different environment in terms of
The Coke is still going to be around though.
Oh, probably.
yeah.
What?
The Coke is still going to be around though.
Well, that was the thing though, is that because I know that it was terrible when Chevy and all of them were there. It was also terrible when Adam Sandler and all of them were
Oh
there.
yeah, in the 90s, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley and
Yeah.
everything else. Apparently, Lauren didn't really start cutting. Like he didn't really start like cracking down until after Farley.
Yeah.
Well, that was a pretty messy.
That was a
and,
big
out
hit
there
that they
for
had to take,
everyone
yeah.
to see.
Yeah. So after Farley, that's when apparently that's when he started really cracking down on saying like no one can do drugs. No, there's no more drugs in the building.
Yeah.
He was the sixth member of SNL to actually die.
Sixth member.
Yeah, I found right here on IMDb the chronological.
It's Rita Ratner, Farley,
John Belushi
John
is
Belushi.
first, and then Andy Kaufman. Then you have Gilda Rander.
Yeah.
Denitra Vance,
Mhm.
Michael O'Dowhue.
O'Dollahue.
Thank you. Chris Farley, Phil Hartman. That one,
Phil
that one
Hartman,
really
that one's
hurts
sad.
me.
Yeah, Phil Hartman.
Yeah,
This
because he
is the
didn't die
soul-
of drugs. He died.
He was
his
murdered.
wife.
He
Yeah,
was
his
murdered,
wife.
yeah.
Wife murdered him.
Do you know how that happened? Phil Hartman was cheating on his wife, and then she walked in with a shotgun and killed him in his sleep.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know if
That's-
it was actually like that. I thought John Belushi or someone got her back on drinking or doing drugs or something like that. And
she was having a manic episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
But he was sleeping around.
And she found out. Yeah.
And she found out.
I know they were having marital problems. I know that. Yeah.
Troy
But-
McClure.
I enjoyed the movie though.
No,
Agree.
overall,
it's great.
yeah, really good. This is again This is a contender for #1 movie for me.
You know what? In all
2024.
fairness, I really liked. You know what this movie kind of felt like too? It kind of felt like The Hateful Eight, in a way, because it kind of feels like a stage play.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like it feels like this like very fluid stage play that's happening.
It's taking place in one setting, and we're stuck in this kind of like it's kind of like a bottle episode.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Where it's not a movie that goes everywhere. We're in this little bubble, and this is
And
where
we're stuck
this
here.
is all the chaos in this
Like-
one bubble.
Yeah, like if you were to get this and go, cool, we're gonna put this on the stage and we're gonna do a play about SNL. I think this would fit perfectly.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could, you could definitely do
If this
as
was a
stage
play, I would watch it. Yeah.
It was. I think I know what you mean, but I think you confused me with Hateful Eight because Hateful Eight was one set, whereas
This is still once.
It's still technically it's less than 5 sets. If you
it's
have
less
to
than
admit
5
to, yeah.
sets. Yeah, but only because when I think of Hateful Eight, I think of the cabin, so that threw me off, and I'm like,
Well, technically, there's like 4. There's still 5.
there's so much more. I was
I,
thinking.
th- I
There's
think
five-
he's
there's
going
5
for
sets.
like a story that's
With the
80% of it being in
Yeah.
one.
Well, not
one
only that,
set.
but also
transitions
just
are smoother.
Yeah.
the transitions are very smooth, but also you're going from different people in the same space.
Yeah.
Like
Now-
the space is so big, but it's so tiny, but it's also very big, and people are having their own solitary moments that are all right next to each other.
Now I wonder where they filmed this because it did look like
They had to
30 Rock.
recreate, the set
I wouldn't mind.
a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just recreated 30 Rock in a studio.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to redo. Because if you noticed, it wasn't the SNL set that we know. Because that SNL set doesn't happen until I think 1980s. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't start looking like how it is now until like the 1980s, 1990s.
Yeah.
Isn't tomorrow the first episode of Saturday Night Live season 50?
I believe so.
I think so. Did you? Okay, so after watching this movie, did you watch the first episode
No,
of SNL?
it's on YouTube though, right?
No, it's on Peacock.
Peacock.
Oh, it's on Peacock.
You can
I'll
watch it on Peacock. Yeah, I watched it last
How
night.
was it?
It was
I didn't get a
good. It
chance
was
to watch
it was cool to see George Carlin's opening monologue because I didn't remember it, but I fell asleep when Andy Kaufman went on his bit was on because I was tired.
The Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, it was good.
His
I was
Mighty
like,
Mouse bit?
man, this is so good because you're watching the movie and you get that vibe of like, oh, now I want to see how that show came out because now that we saw the behind the scenes stuff, we saw like the all the turmoil and then what Lauren had to do and stuff like that. I want to see how it paid off and how it aired, and it was great. It was great watching.
I do like the fact that everybody was. I feel like everybody was being relatively honest.
Yeah.
In the writing, because not a lot of people looked great.
No one. you could tell that no one was a saint. No one was depicted in a rather biased way. Everyone had their moment where even Chevy Chase, his character, was I think we talked about it when we watched the movie. After we watched the movie, we see where Chevy Chase's ego was growing. Yes. Because all the studio upper ups were like, "You're funny.
The
you're
studio heads
handsome.
are all telling
this
them.
is your future, man. You got this." And he's just, you could tell it's
He's getting
fueling his
boosted.
ego even more.
He got the tap.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you?
Yeah, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I actually even told Monica that I wanted to show it to her.
Yeah, same thing with Manny. I really want to show you this movie. This is a really good.
I
movie.
think I told Andy, I'm like, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
And she's like, I kind of want to watch it again because she kept falling in and out of sleep.
Oh,
She was
yeah?
tired.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
She has a human drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
She gets a pass.
the few parts
this
that she-
time.
this time. I told her, I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, are you sure it's a 9:30?
For
She's
9
like,
months, she gets a pass.
After 9 months, that's
yeah,
it.
That's
Nothing
it.
else.
Well, maybe for like a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
reduced pass.
Yeah, it's a
I
ridiculous-
thought it was funny because when we were going to the restroom afterwards, Andy almost walked into the men's.
She was tired. Dude.
Yeah.
She was tired. She almost walked into the men's, and then she was
I
like,
would have
"Oh,
laughed if she just committed and went in there. It's just like,
She almost walked in, and she was like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "Well, we don't know what's inside. Maybe who knows?"
Dude, honestly, I didn't know that Andy was a huge SNL fan.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought I was a freak for liking SNL because no one else that I hung out
I
with
loved SNL.
Yeah.
didn't watch SNL.
Well, it's funny because when he called us and you're like, "Okay, we're on the road," I'm like, I thought it was just Bryan, and we're like, I guess Andy's coming with us too. Like, I was like, we're like, cool, all right,
Oh, I thought I'd let you guys know.
No,
Sorry,
that's fine.
my bad.
That's
I mean,
it's fine. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just funny because I was expecting, okay, I'm on the road, and he kept saying we. I'm like,
She was the one that told me about this movie coming out, and that's how I relayed the message to you guys with the first trailer.
okay.
So she was on it, and I was like, oh, shoot.
Oh, so when I found the early showing, you were like, "Hey, there's an early showing."
No, so what was funny is you told me about the early showing on Messenger. You told us, and then I looked over at Instagram, and right as soon as you told us, she told me by sending me the trailer of early showings.
That's funny. I'll go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
We're gonna close out.
Yeah, close out real quick.
Yeah, let's end this. He's like,
No, let's take it slow. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that's it. We recommend it. Watch
yes,
Saturday
definitely.
night. Great.
It's a great.
Yeah,
great
Sean, go
movie.
watch it.
Yeah,
It's a great watch.
I will.
Thank you so much for joining us here on issue 216 of Keeping Up With The Nerds. Don't forget to check out our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com. Check out our YouTube channel, Keeping Up With The Nerds, where you guys can see our skits every Thursday and our uploads for the visual podcast on Wednesdays. And check out our audio platforms, audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. Leave a 5-star review where acceptable. Let's wrap this up because Nick is shaking his fingers.
Oh yeah.
Really quick, our skit
I hate you.
tomorrow,
I hate you so much.
coming out is very much inspired by SNL.
Renee's
Yes.
idea, I directed it.
Yeah,
and
you came up with the story, but I came up with the concept of
Yeah.
how to do it.
Let us know what you guys think. With that said, let's wrap it up.
All right.
This has been Keeping Up With The Nerds, issue 216. My name is Bryan,
Nick.
Rene.
Sean.
signing up from Under City Comics. We'll see you all next time. Run!